The town trusted two ranchers with one dream: to build the first school their children would ever have. But on the night the money disappeared, only one man was left standing beside an empty safe, while the other vanished into the desert with every dollar the town had. The people called him a thief. Children cried because their future was gone, and the woman he loved looked at him with heartbreak instead of trust. But what nobody knew was that the missing money was only the beginning of a betrayal so cruel. It would force one rancher to risk his life, his honor, and everything he owned, to uncover the truth. And when the final secret was revealed, the entire town fell silent, because the man they hated was the only one who never stopped fighting for them. Stay until the end, because the final scene will break your heart and heal it at the same time. The year was 1884. Dust rolled across the dry roads of Red Valley, a small western town forgotten by railroad companies and rich politicians. Most families there could barely survive another winter. Children worked in fields instead of reading books, and many had never even held a pencil before. But one man believed the town deserved better. His name was Samuel Carter. Samuel was not rich. He owned a modest ranch outside town with a few horses and enough cattle to keep food on the table. His hands were rough, his back scarred from years of labor, but his heart carried something rare in the Wild West: hope. Every Sunday after church, Samuel watched children scratching letters into dirt with sticks while their exhausted parents stood nearby. That sight haunted him. One evening, standing outside the saloon beneath a fading sunset, Samuel made a promise. "We're building a school," he said. The townspeople laughed at first. Schools belonged in wealthy cities, not dusty ranch towns where people struggled to survive. But Samuel refused to quit. Soon, his closest friend and business partner, Victor Hayes, joined the effort. Victor was charming, smooth-talking, and confident. Unlike Samuel, he dressed neatly and knew how to persuade people. Together, the two ranchers became symbols of hope. They traveled from ranch to ranch collecting donations. Old widows handed over saved coins wrapped in cloth. Ranch workers donated parts of their wages. Even children offered marbles and tiny wooden toys, hoping it might help build the school. For the first time in years, Red Valley felt united. And slowly, Samuel began falling in love with Eleanor Brooks, the town's quiet piano teacher. Eleanor believed education could save children from hard lives. Every evening she helped Samuel organize school plans by lantern light. She admired his honesty, his kindness, and the way he never gave up on people. One night she softly asked him, "Why fight so hard for this town?" Samuel smiled weakly. "Because nobody ever fought for us." Their bond grew deeper with every passing day. But while Samuel dreamed about classrooms and children learning to read, Victor dreamed about something else: money. Hidden beneath Victor's friendly smile was a mountain of gambling debt owed to dangerous men from Silver Creek. If he failed to pay them soon, they would kill him. And then Victor saw the school fund. Thousands of dollars collected from trusting families. Enough money to disappear forever. The night before construction was supposed to begin, the town gathered for celebration. Music filled the streets. Children danced around bonfires. Samuel gave a heartfelt speech about the future. People cried with happiness. But during the celebration, Victor slipped quietly into the office where the money was locked away. His hands trembled as he opened the safe. For one brief moment, guilt hit him hard. He remembered the smiles of children, the hope in Samuel's voice, Eleanor's belief in their mission. But fear was stronger. Victor stuffed every dollar into bags and rode into the darkness before sunrise. The next morning, Samuel unlocked the office door. The safe was empty. And Victor was gone. Within hours, rumors spread through Red Valley like wildfire. Some believed Samuel and Victor planned the theft together. Others demanded revenge. The sheriff found only one clue: Samuel's fingerprints on the safe. People who once praised him now cursed his name. A grieving mother screamed, "You stole our children's future!" Samuel tried to explain, but nobody listened. Even Eleanor stood speechless, tears filling her eyes. The man Red Valley once called a hero became the town's greatest disappointment overnight. But Samuel refused to run. Because deep down, he knew Victor had not simply stolen money. He had stolen hope. And Samuel was determined to get it back, no matter what it cost. Days turned into weeks. Red Valley became colder, quieter, and full of bitterness. The unfinished school foundation stood abandoned like a graveyard of broken dreams. Children stopped talking about books. Families returned to survival mode. Hope disappeared from the town faster than rain in desert sand. And Samuel Carter became a lonely man. People crossed the street to avoid him. Store owners refused to serve him. Ranch workers whispered insults behind his back. Yet every morning before sunrise, Samuel saddled his horse and searched for Victor Hayes. Not for revenge. For justice. One freezing evening, Eleanor finally confronted him outside the church. "Why keep chasing him?" she asked with trembling eyes. "The town already hates you." Samuel looked exhausted. "Because if I quit now," he whispered, "those children lose everything forever." Eleanor wanted to believe him. But pain had built walls around her heart. Meanwhile, far beyond Red Valley, Victor was running out of time. The men from Silver Creek had taken most of the stolen money already. Gambling debts, alcohol, and fear consumed him. Every night he drank himself to sleep trying to silence his guilt. But guilt only grew louder. Especially after he found a small drawing inside one of the money bags. A child had drawn a picture of the future school. At the bottom were the words, "Thank you for helping us learn." Victor broke down crying. For the first time, he realized he had not stolen money. He had stolen futures. Meanwhile, Samuel's search led him through deadly mountains, abandoned mining camps, and lawless towns filled with dangerous outlaws. He was beaten, robbed, and nearly killed more than once. But he never stopped. Then one stormy night, Samuel finally found Victor hiding inside an old cabin near Silver Creek. Victor looked terrible, thinner, frightened, broken. The moment he saw Samuel, shame filled his eyes. "I never meant for it to go this far," Victor muttered. Samuel stared at the man he once called brother. "You destroyed an entire town." Victor lowered his head. "They were going to kill me. And now children pay the price for your fear?" Silence filled the cabin. Rain hammered the roof overhead. Then suddenly gunshots exploded outside. The debt collectors had found Victor. Bullets tore through the cabin walls as armed men surrounded them. In that moment, Samuel faced an impossible choice. Leave Victor behind and save himself. Or protect the man who betrayed him. Victor expected Samuel to abandon him. Instead, Samuel handed him a rifle. "Get up," he said. Together, the two ranchers fought through the night side by side. The battle was brutal. Horses screamed outside. Wood splintered under gunfire. Samuel was shot in the shoulder, protecting Victor from a bullet meant for him. And seeing that sacrifice shattered Victor completely. No matter how badly he betrayed Samuel, Samuel still chose mercy over hatred. By sunrise, the attackers were defeated. Victor sat trembling beside the fire. Then, finally, with tears streaming down his face, he confessed everything. There was still some money left, hidden beneath an old windmill outside Silver Creek. Samuel could have turned Victor over to the sheriff immediately. Instead, he brought him back to Red Valley alive. The entire town gathered as Victor publicly confessed his crimes. People stood frozen in shock. And when the hidden money was recovered, many began crying openly. But the biggest surprise came next. Samuel removed his ranch deed from his pocket and handed it to the town council. "What are you doing?" Eleanor whispered. Samuel smiled sadly. "Finishing what we started." He sold his ranch to replace every dollar that had been lost forever during Victor's gambling spree. Everything he owned. Gone. Months later, the school finally opened. Children filled the classroom with laughter and excitement. Families cried tears of joy watching their sons and daughters hold books for the first time. Above the entrance hung a wooden sign. Carter's schoolhouse. But Samuel never asked for recognition. He simply stood outside at sunset beside Eleanor, listening to children learning inside the building he sacrificed everything to protect. And for the first time in a long while, Red Valley believed in goodness again. Because one honest rancher proved something the entire West had forgotten. A man's true wealth is not measured by what he keeps, but by what he is willing to give away for others. If today's story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And remember, even a small act of kindness can change someone's entire life. Red Heart.